Mhm. Hello, friends. Welcome to CareersTalk. And thank you so much, Sunan, for the wonderful, once again, the great opportunity for me. So, in this session today, we are going to see emergent architecture. This was one of the interview questions posted by Sunand in his shorts. Okay, and it's really an important questions as well nowadays. One of the most important questions. So, emergent architecture. This is something new for me. Also, I'm also learning. So, if you guys have better understanding or different examples what I'm going to share more than that, feel free to add comment. And if you really like this video, please share with your friends as well. Sharing education knowledge, share when you share with others, it will thrive. Okay, so let's get into this one, emergent architecture. So before getting into emergent architecture, we want to know what are all the architectures we are following, and how it is not working properly, and how this emergent architecture comes into the play, and how it is helpful for us. Okay, so every architecture, whatever it is, it has its own pros and cons. Like waterfall has its own pros and cons, agile has its own pros and cons. Like similarly, different architecture we have. Why this emergent architecture is very successful nowadays and it is thriving. Okay, so if you want to know that, let's watch. BUF or BRUF thinking. Okay, so big upfront thinking. Usually, I had good experience in waterfall as well as agile. When we are doing our waterfall, our all the architectures and everything will be upfront, right? We will be ready, whatever it is, we will be ready, and we are doing things in a waterfall way. So that is how waterfall is working. So BUF is so called big upfront thinking. BRUF is big requirements upfront. Sorry, guys, sorry for my cough. So, in our traditional methods of software development, it plays a significant role. That means upfront we will consider everything and we will design something and we will be ready with the architecture upfront. So this development, when we are delivering these things to the market, it may be the next 1.5 years to 2 years, maybe the 6 months to 8 months also, we are not sure. So this is what so called big upfront thinking. That means you are ready with everything in advance. A practice commonly referred to as BRUF, big requirements upfront. So what is the drawbacks in this big upfront thinking? Okay, so it is too time consuming and understanding, right? So when we are doing it upfront, it is too time consuming because we don't know what really the outcome and what is the expected outcome when we are releasing this product. So we want to understand the complete picture thoroughly when we are doing this big upfront thinking, correct? So if you are not having that better understanding, we cannot do that. So to know that understanding at the upfront level, we know, do you really think that we know complete picture of everything? It may not be. So many legacy systems needs upfront thinking. That is how we are working, right? So that may not work up. It will be very time consuming and we cannot understand the complete picture at the beginning level itself. When we are progressing only, we can get to know what is needed, what is not needed, how we can do it, what is the challenge, what is the issue, everything. So that is one big drawback with this big upfront of thinking. Substantial requirement changes. The requirement will be changed very frequently, will be changed. Okay, so we are not sure the requirement, the same requirements we will be following or not. And rapid changes in the technology and markets. By the time when we are releasing something in 1 or 2 years in the waterfalls thing, or this, when we are doing this way, we are not sure because every day things are growing, every day so many inventions are coming. So by the time in 1.5 years, we don't know how the market will be, right? So this is another one challenge what we may face in this one. And customer difficulty in describing needs. When we are doing everything upfront, when we are designing, gathering requirement, everything, when we are doing in this big upfront, customers also not sure what is the real need of the market because every day it is changing, right? So customers also struggles to provide the clarity on our requirements. So mismatch between the thinkers and implementers. We will think something and we will make the architecture, but when it goes to the implementers, are they really understanding, or are they really knowing what thought process when this being designed? This is something is a big mismatch, and it will cost a lot. It will when it goes more, and complex retrofits, okay, and outdated unexpected model you may get. So this is what the challenges in this big upfront thinking. NUF. Yes, I'm yet to go emergent architecture. Before that, again, another one thing we want to know. No upfront thinking. So you may ask, so Sindhuja, you are saying that it's not Sindhuja again. I went through so many blogs and contents and only I prepared this thing. So big upfront thinking is not advisable. I'm not saying this is not advisable, but this is not very helpful. And at the end, it may not be the desired outcome. We may not expect the desired outcome. So are we suggesting we shouldn't think anything upfront? No, that is also cost us a lot. No upfront thinking is also not good. We should have something. So developing a cohesive and financially viable architecture necessitates thoughtful upfront planning. Okay, so a little bit of thoughtful upfront planning is also needed. In the absence of sufficient upfront consideration, the architecture may end up appearing haphazard for sure, okay, and almost accidental in its nature. So we need to have little bit upfront. It's not complete picture, but again, something we should have with the available stuff. It should be in a position to modify things, okay. So this unintentional architecture, as some have termed it, aptly describes the outcome of inadequate upfront thinking, okay. So this is so called unintentional architecture, okay. So this is inadequate upfront thinking is also the desired outcome, okay. So what would be the victim if you're not doing this uh, upfront thinking beginning? What victim, how we will end up with? So intention, inattention to user marketplace, and lack of focus on continuous technical excellence also. If you're not prepared little bit upfront, they will end up with technical excellence. We may not cope up with the technical excellence, and lack of focus and inattention to user marketplace, okay. And inattention technical excellence leads to many technical debt, okay. So telltale technical debt is a big telltale of NUF. So technical debt will cost us a lot, as we all know already. So we are not providing attention to the technical excellences. In this case, technical debt will be more. Massive technical debt results in unacceptable bugs, correct. So prolonged development time and potential system rewrites, these and all will happen. No upfront thinking is deemed unacceptable due to numerous negative outcomes associated with a massive technical debt. So we shouldn't go with no upfront thinking also. It will, because it will cause more technical debt, bugs, everything. Emergent architecture. So emergent architecture is something we are into the picture finally, correct. So big upfront thinking we saw, no upfront thinking also we saw. So it's kind of mix and match as an emergent architecture. So emergent architecture is something intentional architecture plus emergent design, okay. So 100 percentage intentional architecture, little upfront architecture. It's not no upfront as well as it's not a big upfront. It's little upfront architecture, okay. So intentional architecture is the declared desired target. Intentional architecture is a declared desired target state. What I mean here, why I'm repeating this point, it's a desired target state, it's not the end state. Intentional architecture, so it's target we are trying to do. If it is end something, it's died already, it's died. If you say something as end, this is perfect, done and dusted. So it's done, it's died and dusted. So this is so called intentional architecture. We are targeting to get something, and it's continuously growing, evolving. That is what we are saying. So little upfront is equal to continuous attention plus technical excellences. Um, so technical excellences is coming into the picture, so we can avoid technical debt, and continuous attention to the market as well as the needs. We will focus based on that. We will design our architecture. So JIT and last responsible moment. JIT, just in time inventory. We must have heard the story around this JIT many a times, right? So this JIT is something just in time, whatever you think and whatever the requirement of the market, whatever the requirement of the customer, based on that we will design and develop the architectures and everything. So that is so called JIT. What is the advantage of this emergent architecture? Minimize requirement churn damage associated with BUF. So when we are collecting everything up front, so this can be reduced and it will cost a lot, right? So this requirement gathering damage at the big front architecture, what we had over there in that kind of architecture, we can reduce this one. Takes advantages of the latest and greatest technology knowledge. When we are doing it, whatever the technology is coming, whatever the latest steps are going, we can we can inculcate or we can bring that imbibe that into our architecture and or into our designs. Ensures takes the individuals collaborating on the architecture or the ones about to implement it. And as of course this is something really important. Usually in the waterfall methodologies and all, it's like someone will do something and the implementers will be someone, right? But here we are collaborating on the architecture as well, and we are going to implement it. I'm the one who is going to collaborate, and I'm the one who is going to make it, and I'm the one who is going to implement it along with my team. So collaboration is there, aligns the essential elements for success, placing them in the right place at the right time. Right place, right time. That is essential. Nowadays, all the organization they are not recruiting us. Right people only we want. That is what they are emphasizing. So this similarly, right place at the right time. This is also essential. Okay. So these are all the essential elements. And few other things like technical excellences covers various aspects like architecture, design, and coding. We will inculcate or we will bring that and we will append it based on the market excellences. The capacity to modify software architecture rapidly and cost effectively is directly tied to practices and technical excellences. Agility, defined as the ability to change direction swiftly and economically, results from maintaining high level of technical excellences. Okay. So technical excellence is crucial regardless of the software development approach, BUF, NUF, or emergent architecture. Okay, whatever it is, right? Technical excellence is essential because nowadays we are moving into so much of technology things, so much into technology and many things, right? Right. So if it is a BUF or NUF, whatever it is, technical excellences are really matters. In BUF approaches, a misconception of finalizing all requirements and architecture upfront often leads to neglecting technical excellence. So this is something which is a setback for BUF, we can say. Okay. So how can we? What are all the technical excellences? If I want to say, it's nothing but pad programming, collective code ownership, good coverages. We have so many tools, continuous integration, automated testing, build automation, TDD, Suyagni, lightweight. These are all the few things you can say. Okay, and if I want to give some layman example at the end, okay, imagine you're building a house using this emergent architecture. Leave this big upfront and all, okay, in an agile way. Instead of creating an elaborate blueprint upfront, you start with the basic plan for the main structure. So it happens many a times. I saw when people are constructing their home, they start with a big plan, but when we are progressing only they get to know, they realize that this is not going to work, and then they want to either demolish one part or they want to re-alter it, right? In Tamil also one movie was there, Velaila Patatari. So the construction has started, but post that due to some changes they demolished everything. I'm just saying this is an example, this is not the perfect example though. So this is how it happens, right? So when we start with some basic plan, as you progress you can gather feedback, or you may change your mind also in between. No, I don't want this room to be here, this one should go there, based on some horoscope or something like that. Make adjustments and add new features based on what you learned during the construction, correct? So initially you may decide on the number of rooms and their approximate locations, but you don't plan every detail in advance. As the construction proceeds, you might discover the certain rooms need to be larger or the layout should be adjusted for better functionality. With emergent architecture in an agile approach, you adapt the house design as you go, responding to changing needs or unexpected challenge. So this flexibility, the flexible that really matters, right? This flexibility allows for continuous improvement and ensures that the final results better meets the actual requirements. even if they evolve throughout the construction process. So this is what emergent architecture. It will give you better flexibility. It will bring the technical excellences. It will, you can change it according to the market needs and your dreams and desires. Okay, so this is what emergent architecture. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Sunan, once again for the opportunity.